Dolls are usually seen as harmless toys, sweet faces made to comfort children. But not every doll is innocent. Some carry with them stories so dark, so terrifying, that people believe they are cursed. Across the world, there are dolls locked away in glass cases, hidden in museums, and even placed under priestly protection, because people fear what happens if they are free. Today, we explore 5 of the most haunted dolls in the world. Their stories are not just spooky legends. They are chilling accounts that many people swear are true. 1. Robert the Doll, Florida, USA. Our story begins in Key West, Florida, with a doll named Robert. Robert is not just any toy. He's a life-size doll dressed in a sailor outfit, holding a small stuffed lion. He was given to a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto in the early 1900s. The boy loved the doll so much that he named it after himself, Robert. At first, everything seemed normal, but soon strange things began to happen. Neighbors reported seeing the doll move around inside the house when no one was there. The Otto family claimed to hear giggles, footsteps, and even conversations coming from Robert's room. The boy Eugene would often blame the doll for accidents or broken items, saying, "Robert did it." As time passed, visitors to the house also noticed Robert's expression change, as if the doll was alive and watching them. Today, Robert is displayed at the East Martello Museum in Key West. But beware, museum staff say that if you take a picture of Robert without asking his permission first, you may suffer from bad luck, accidents, or even death. Letters of apology are pinned around his case, written by people who believe they angered the doll and are begging him for forgiveness. 2. Annabelle, Connecticut, USA. If you've seen The Conjuring or Annabelle movies, you already know this name. Annabelle is perhaps the most famous haunted doll in the world. But unlike the terrifying porcelain doll shown in Hollywood, the real Annabelle is actually a simple Raggedy Ann doll, soft and harmless looking. In the 1970s, 2 college girls named Donna and Angie received Annabelle as a gift. Soon after, they noticed the doll moving on its own. Sometimes it would be sitting in a different position, other times in another room entirely. The girls then began finding handwritten notes around the apartment that read, "Help me." When they called a psychic, she claimed the spirit of a little girl named Annabelle Higgins was trapped inside the doll. The girls felt sorry for the spirit and allowed Annabelle to stay. That was a huge mistake. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren later discovered that it was not the spirit of a child at all, but a demon using the doll as a vessel to get closer to humans. Annabelle is now locked inside a glass case at the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut with a warning sign, "Do not touch." People believe that anyone who disrespects Annabelle faces terrible consequences, from car accidents to sudden deaths. 3. Okiku the Doll, Japan. Our next haunted doll comes from Japan. Okiku is a Japanese doll that dates back to the early 1900s. She originally belonged to a little girl named Okiku, who tragically died at a young age. Her grieving family placed the doll on an altar in her memory. That's when strange things began to happen. Over time, the family noticed that the doll's hair seemed to be growing. At first, it was shoulder length, but eventually it grew down to the doll's waist. Even when the family trimmed it, the hair kept growing back. Scientists tested the doll and confirmed that the hair was real human hair, the hair of a young child. Today, Okiku is kept at the Menenji Temple in Hokkaido, Japan. The priests there believe that the spirit of the little girl lives inside the doll, which explains why her hair continues to grow. Visitors who see Okiku say they feel an overwhelming sadness, as if the doll is silently mourning her lost childhood. Some claim her eyes follow them around the room. 4. Mandy the Doll, Canada. Mandy comes from British Columbia, Canada, and she is known as one of the most unsettling, haunted dolls in the world. Mandy is an antique porcelain doll, over 100 years old, with cracked skin and glassy eyes that seem to stare right through you. She was donated to the Questel Museum in 1991, after her owner complained of strange experiences. The owner said she often heard crying sounds in the middle of the night. When she checked, she would always find Mandy sitting in strange places, even though nobody had touched her. After Mandy was given to the museum, staff noticed strange things happening there too. Lunches would go missing, footsteps were heard at night, and cameras malfunctioned whenever they pointed at Mandy. Some visitors claim that if you stare at her too long, she seems to smirk or change her expression. To this day, Mandy has become one of the museum's most famous and most feared exhibits. 5. Pupa the doll, Italy. The final doll on our list is Pupa, an antique doll from Italy that dates back to the 1920s. Unlike most toys from that time, Pupa was handmade for a little girl who treated her like a real companion. She would tell her family that Pupa was alive, that the doll could talk, laugh, and even share secrets with her. For the young girl, Pupa was not just a toy, but a best friend. After the girl's death, the doll remained in the family, and that's when strange events began to unfold. Pupa was placed inside a protective glass case, yet she was often found in different positions. Sometimes she would be pressed right against the glass, almost as if she was trying to break free. On other occasions, visitors reported tapping sounds coming from the case or soft whispers that seemed to echo near the doll, even though no one else was around. Her appearance adds to the unsettling mystery. Pupa has a soft cloth body, but her face is made of felt with painted human-like features that seem too realistic. Many say her expression sometimes changes. Her eyes look sadder, or her smile appears slightly different when no one is watching. This makes her seem less like a doll and more like a trapped soul frozen in time. Some believe that Pupa holds the spirit of her original owner, still trying to communicate with the living. Others fear that something far darker is attached to her. Today, she is still kept under lock and key by the family, never released. Legends say that if Pupa's case is ever opened or if the doll is ever destroyed, the consequences could be terrifying, as though something dangerous is waiting to be set free. These dolls are not just playthings. They carry fear, death, and mystery. From Robert's cursed photos, Annabelle's demonic presence, Okiku's growing hair, Mandy's ghostly cries, to Pupa's desperate will to escape. They remind us that sometimes the scariest monsters are not the ones in movies, but the ones sitting quietly, watching, waiting. If you ever come across an old doll staring at you with lifelike eyes, ask yourself, is it just a toy or is it something more? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this chilling journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dark mysteries every week.